Welcome back to Club Junkies Thursday Night Men's League. What's in the bag? This is going to be on week 15. So week 14 just ended. Week 14 was a little bit of a struggle. Shot a 42 and just didn't putt well. Couldn't make a putt. Had a couple three putts out there that just killed me. And really, other than that, I hit the ball okay. I didn't hit it great. I was just off on everything, just a little bit, whether it was just right or left or just a little short or long between, chipping, pitching, stuff like that. And then full iron shots into the green. I wasn't hitting it bad. I just wasn't quite 100% accurate. I was just missing a little bit to the right or the left. So overall, I wasn't too sad. I mean, I was bummed, but I wasn't too upset. Again, making a couple little swing changes. I'm still getting the hang of it. It's feeling better and better. But yeah, the putter really let me down. And then, had a bad one where I hit a kind of a poor tee shot on three, had to punch it out, and then hit it onto the green, and then ended up three putting, up the hill. So little things like that caused me to kind of play that way. Overall, driver, I hit pretty good. I hit two shots with it. And honestly, kind of had one hook a little bit on six, and then on eight, actually hit a fairly good shot, and then had a nice seven wood that was basically pin high just to the right of the green. So played that really well. Irons were solid, and I tell you what, the 4 hybrid, the PXG Black Ops 4 hybrid with the new Graphite Design VF is really solid. I hit that thing good all day. Even my misses were pretty much right down the middle. The first tee, a little tight, hit that first one a little bit off the toe, kind of went out low and left. Ended up being just in the rough by like a foot or two, and then actually hit a nice pitching wedge onto the green and made birdie. So that club really impressed me. Hit that really well, and everything else was decent, just kind of on and off. So putter was the one thing that I really struggled with. So this is week 15, and honestly, to be honest, I'm not playing in the league. This weekend coming up, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is my big men's outing. So we've got 16 guys, including myself, that go up to the northern part of Michigan. We play golf every year. This basically first weekend in August. We call it the Saragua. It's named after a fellow high school classmate that my brothers had that unfortunately passed away too early. So it's in his memory, and we have a great time. So 16 guys, kind of a modified Ryder Cup style. We play 2-man best ball, 2-man shamble, 2-man scramble, 2-man alternate, modified alternate shot. So we play 18 on Thursday, 36 Friday, 36 Saturday, and then 18 on Sunday and go home. Absolute blast. We have captains, we have teams, 8 on 8, and there's bragging rights all year. So I was on the winning team last year. This year, we'll see what happens, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun, and I can't bring more than 14. 14 is all I can play with, so I bring 2 full bags. So this is going to be the gamer bag, and then I do have a backup bag, so I'll go over both of what's in each bag. But this is going to be the gamer bag. This is the one I kind of build up and try to figure out what's going to go in the bag for this one, because I probably take it the most serious out of anything I do all year. I mean, we still have a lot of fun, still have some beverages, but it's still, you want to win. You want to beat the guys you're playing. So we'll start at the top. And again, this is my up north, weekend, the whole weekend. We'll start at the top. And for the starter, the what's in the bag, the gamer, we're going the Titleist GT2. I've hit this thing really well over the past a few rounds I've had with it. It's an 11-degree head, so kind of higher loft, and it is shafted up with a Fujikura Ventus Red 6X, the 2024 version. I got fit into this exact combo just with the older Ventus Red, so I threw the new one in here. Haven't noticed too much of a difference in terms of hitting it. I do think that the new one is just a little bit tighter, just a little bit more consistent than the old one. But this thing's been extremely forgiving, very long, and the miss hits have been pretty solid. So this is going to be the starter going into it for driver, and I'm pretty happy with this. I know with like I said, making a couple swing changes, this is the one club that's been a little bit of a struggle, but it's pretty good. I also will say bag-wise, going the new bag tonight, going with the PXG Stars and Stripes because our team colors, red, white, and blue. So we, on Sunday we do team shirts, team hats, or red, white, and blue, so I'm bringing the bag to match. 3-wood, we went with starter for the 3-wood is going to be the TaylorMade QI10, the standard model. This one here, I took out the tour model the other day, hit it, been hitting this. I just find this to be a little bit more consistent. It launches high, it's forgiving, it's easy to hit, it's pretty darn long. Everything about it, it just works really well. It's got a fairly deep face. You can hit it off the tee, and I can actually hit it off the deck and get it somewhat in the air. So that's really good. This is going to be the starter. This one's got the UST Link the Link M40X Blue. This is the TSPX version. This is a 70 extra stiff, and this is kind of the mid-launch low spin shaft. It's worked pretty well in here. I almost reshafted it with the red to launch it just a little bit higher, but we'll keep it blue for the weekend since that's what I'm comfortable with. But it's been a great 3-wood so far, extremely consistent. Then we go to 7-wood, and I don't think this one's any surprise. We're going with the Ping G430. This is one of the few clubs from last year that carried over into this year. So, but it's, I mean, just easy to hit. I mean, it's got a shallow face, easy to hit off the deck, launch it high in the air. It goes a great, good distance. Ball speeds is really good on miss hits. This is a 7 wood, 21 degree head, set 1 degree down and a little bit flat. So it comes out really neutral, really easy to hit. And this has a Fujikura Ventus TR Blue 8 stiff, 80 gram stiff, and it's playing a little bit short, 41 and 7/8 inches long. So this thing here has been a great little guy to get into par 5s and 2. Or really long par 3s, and I mean I even do hit it on some short par 4s off the tee, but just been the club that's easier to hit off the deck than my other 7 woods that I have. So just more comfortable. It's staying in the bag. It's like I said, the one thing from last year that's carrying over into this year. And then we go into kind of the irons, but before we get into the iron, 4-iron, as I just raved about, the PXG Black Ops 4 Hybrid. This is a 22 degree, and it is set 22 degrees just flat. And this has the brand new Graphite Design VF Hybrid shaft. This is an 85 stiff. But this combo here, the head launch is high, easy to get in the air, got a deep face so you can hit it off the tee, whether it's long par 3, short par 4, something like that. And this shaft here, as much as it's kind of a little bit lower launching, lower spinning, I can still elevate it pretty well. It still can get to the green and stop. Overall, this thing's been really solid, really straight, and really easy to hit. So I've been really impressed with how this is played. And yeah, I'm kind of ditching the utility 4-iron for this guy. So it does go a little bit further, which isn't too bad. If I need to play it down, I guess I could choke down on it a little bit, but pretty much every time I've needed it, I've pretty much had that yardage. So it's been really, really good. I've liked it since I've reshafted it. And then we move into irons, and thankfully today I can talk about these irons because I didn't know how I was going to do this without showing irons, but irons are going to be the brand new TaylorMade P770s. So these are the brand new hollow body P770s, the 2024 models. Kind of sleek in the back. They've kind of cleaned them up a little bit in terms of the looks. The look from address, I think, is really good. They've kind of straightened out the leading edge a little bit, so it's straighter, doesn't have as much curve to it, and overall, just the profile looks really good. It's got a thin top line, but it's still hollow body, still goes a little bit further, still, the miss hits carry further, all that. Just was worked really well. I've played these for the past few rounds and really been happy with them. And honestly, it was kind of came down to these and like the T150s, and these are just a little bit longer. And like I said, with a little bit of swing change, these here are I'm hitting my yardages better than I am my T150s. I'm just a little shorter with those. So I figure why not take these, play the same yardages, and be comfortable. But I really like these. And these are shafted up with the True Temper Dynamic Gold Mid 115s. But yeah, these launch up in the air. They go a long ways, and they're pretty darn forgiving for what they are. So when you look down at them, really, really good look. So that is the P770. I'm going to play those 5 through pitching wedge. And then wedges, I think, is going to be no surprise. We're going with the SM10s. For the 50 degree. This is the 50.14. Raw, has a little Club Junkie stamp on it, but this thing's just been rock solid. Every year I pretty much just get the new version of this wedge, but really solid here. Still has the Nippon Modus 105 in it. I was going to change this out and put some Project Tech wedge shafts in it. I don't think that's going to happen before I leave on Thursday morning, but that is still a possibility. So 50.12F. And then we're going to go with the 5614F. So this is the sand wedge here, 50.14. It's got my initials, BK stamp in it. Again, same shaft, Nippon Modus 105. This is just a great club. The sole here, a lot of bounce, a lot of sole to it. You can thump it into the turf, doesn't dig. You can play it out of the trap really easily. There's a whole lot of float, and these things feel good and they spin a good amount. So that's going to be the sand wedge, and then lob wedge. This is the one that I was kind of a little bit I'll say torn on. I was kind of going between two. So the backup bag will have the other one that I didn't pick, but the 60 degree is going to be the SM10 or the Wedgeworks A+ grind. So been hitting this a little bit more and more. I really like this grind. It gets through the turf really, really quickly. Again, wide sole on it, so it has a lot of bounce, or not a lot of bounce, but it has a lot of sole that you can kind of put into the turf. Again, if you open it up in the trap, it has a ton of float. And it's just an overall really playable wedge grind. So 60 A+ from the Vokey Wedgeworks will be the 60 degree. And again, that was really close to the backup. I'm still a little unsure, but I think that's going to go. And then putter is, of course, going to be the TaylorMade Spider Tour X prototype. This is the one they kind of made for Scotty Scheffler originally. Has the milled face on it, no insert. I really like this putter. It's got an LA Golf P-Series 135 shaft and a Super Stroke Pistol 1.0 when they did the Leprechaun for St. Patrick's Day. I really like this combo. It's just easy to line up. It's easy to swing. The putter kind of looks like a blade. It has a little bit of that forgiveness, but it looks like a mallet. Has some of that forgiveness. The long sight line, but it kind of swings like a blade as you put it through the stroke. The LA Golf shaft, super stiff, super consistent, and it does soften up the putter just a touch. So this is going to be the gamer here. Again, I've been playing this for the most of the year. If I've ever had to like kind of play a serious game or somewhat serious or only able to bring 14 clubs, that's what I played. But that is the starting bag for my guys golf weekend this weekend. This is the starters here, and then ball-wise is going to be Pro V1X. So, yeah, this is what I'm going to roll into with at least Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. And we'll see throughout the week if I need to change anything out. Last year I didn't change a thing. Actually, I changed 3-wood on Sunday only because it had a little rattle in the shaft, so epoxy broke loose, so I put my backup 3-wood in. But I didn't change anything last year. Hopefully this year I play well enough where I don't have to change anything either. So that is the starter bag for this weekend. Now let's jump over to the backup bag. All right, so here's the backup bag for the event. Now, I could have put just about anything in here. I do have to say a lot of these clubs could have been interchanged with the starters with no problem. But and some of these backups could have been interchanged with stuff that's not here. So this is a pretty tough one to put together this year. But driver is going to be the TaylorMade QI10, the standard model. This is a 10.5 head. I think this is a super underrated head. I really like it. People are really not talking about this one, but it is really good. I think it's forgiving. It looks good. It sounds good. Feels good. It goes a good ways. But yeah, it does everything. It's kind of the jack of all trades. I think it's a really solid option. Shaft-wise, right now it has a Ventus Blue, the 2024 model. This is not the shaft that's going with it. Unfortunately, I can't show you the shaft that is going with it. It's not out yet. So this just has this in here for now. I probably will bring this shaft with me. I really like it, so I'll probably bring it with me as a backup just in case. But the QI10 is going in, and the shaft in it, again, is something that you'll see in a little bit. It's not out yet, but it'll be here soon. But that'll be driver for the backup bag. And that was, I was hitting those this and the GT really side by side, and it really came down to the misses were slightly better with the GT. Dead center shots, they both are really good. The GT just does a slight bit better on the miss hits, so that's why it gets the nod. And then 3-wood, we're going to go the new GT2 from Titleist. This is the, it's actually a 16.5 degree head, set to C1, but this is kind of a 3-wood replacement for me. I like this thing a lot. I don't have a ton of time with it yet, so 3-wood was tough. There was a couple other options I could have went here, but I really like this GT2, this new sound feel. I like the look of it, all that. And then this is shafted up with a Graphite Design Tour AD CQ7S. So this is kind of a mid-high launch, a little bit kind of mid-high spin shaft. But it works really well in the fairway, and it's actually got a little tighter feel to it than I thought. This is actually the first club I've ever had with this shaft in it, and it's actually got a little stouter feel, a little tighter feel than I thought it would for being a higher launch shaft. So that would be the 3-wood there, and then 7-wood is going to be, this is a tough one because I have the GT2 7-wood, but I think I'm going to go Callaway Triple Diamond 7-wood. This one here has kind of been fighting with the ping a little bit. I love the ball speed on this thing. It goes a really long way. It's a 20-degree head, the 7-wood, and it goes really well. It's a little less forgiving is the only thing, but it does actually gap out really easily because it does produce some good ball speed. This, like the ping, is shafted up with a Fujikura Ventus TR Blue, 8 stiff. This thing, I think, is a great 7-wood shaft. Again, playing the same length, 41 7/8 inches, but a really solid 7-wood option. It was close to making the bag. It was a touch more forgiving, it probably would have made it. So that'll be 7-wood. And then we go into irons, and irons are going to be the brand new PXG Gen 7 Ps. I've had these irons for a little while now. I got them when there was a media event a little while ago. I really liked them. They're really, really good. They're definitely something that's easy to hit. So they're going to go as kind of the easy to hit. If things go start going south, these are going in the bag. But can't talk much about them. Can't talk about the tech or anything yet. But these are going in the bag, and these are shafted up with steel fiber I-95s. These are the black label versions, and these things are really, really good. They launch the ball up in the air. They're consistent. They feel good. They're nice and smooth, and these black labels look pretty cool with the darker finish. So I'm going to go 4-through pitching wedge on these. I actually hit the 4-iron out in Scottsdale, and I hit it really well. So I haven't hit it as much around here just because I've been swapping things out, but I'm going to go 4-through pitching wedge with that whole set. So not going to put in a hybrid or utility iron at the top end of the bag for those. And then to kind of match it in terms of wedges, we're going to go with the Sugar Daddy 3s. So these are the PXG Sugar Daddy 3s. Again, can't really talk much about them. yet. You'll hear more about these shortly. But I've liked these wedges. Same thing, shafted up with steel fiber I-95s. And honestly, having the same weight in the wedges and the irons haven't been a big deal. I've actually not minded it at all. I'm not super, super picky about having to have a heavy, heavy weight. But this is the 5010 S grind on here for the gap wedge. And then for sand wedge, we're going to go the 56 S grind. And this is, again, another Sugar Daddy 3, the 56 S grind here. Again, steel fiber, I-95, black label. These things have been pretty solid. I've liked them in the irons. I like them in the wedges. I've been hitting them pretty well. And then for lob wedge, you would think Sugar Daddy 3, but no. We're going to go the Ping S159, and this is the 60B grind. So this is one of the newer grinds that came out this year. I've liked these wedges a lot. I've got a 56 and a 60. This 60, between this and the A plus grind, were really, really close. They really were, and there's a chance that, you know, this could make it in the bag really, really easily. So I like this wedge, the slightly wider sole. It's very playable, very forgiving off the turf, and this thing, you know, spins well. It just has a good feel to it. The S159s are the best wedges Ping ever made. So this will be in the bag there, and this is shafted up with a Ping ZZ115 shaft made by Nippon. And it's got that grip that's a little bit longer. It's got like an extra inch on it, so you can choke down really easily. But I've hit this really well, and it was a really close call between this and the A+. The A+, I'm going with just because I've hit it more recently, and I hit it well, and this is right there, though. So that will be going. And then for putter, we're going to go the Lab Golf Mez 1 Max. So I've got the DF3, I've got the Mez 1, I've got the Broomstick DF3. I just really like the Mez 1 Max. I think this thing I think the really squared off shape, the fangs, I just align it really well. And I feel like I align this a little bit better. I line it up. Both of them I putt really well with. I mean, it's easy to get the ball in the starting line. But the Mez 1 Max, I feel like I just line up a little bit better. So I'm going to go with the Mez 1 Max. And again, this one here, depending on the putting day, could definitely make an entrance pretty easily. It's one of those things where I like this putter a lot. It's really forgiving. It's easy to use. And honestly, I've just made a few more putts with the Spider at the moment. So this one was really close. And again, it had some other competition as well that could have taken its place. But I like this putter a lot. It's just been really good to me over the past few years. And it's a good backup to fall back on if putting isn't going well. So this will be the putter in the backup bag. So that is the backup bag, the starting and backup bags for my 2024 Saragua outing. I'm excited to go. I can't wait to go hang out with a bunch of guys some of which I only get to see once a year. So it's going to be an absolute blast. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll let you know if, you know, back here's my sign from last year where we won. I'll let you know if we win or lose this year. All depends. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm excited to go. And yeah, I'll report back next week.